said he was going to make it right. I said, you think we're going to lose this country?
Maybe all the
Okay, we're getting ready to start our next session, and Cary Zolman is going to talk to us about how to restore your credit. So, Cary?
Yay, Cary!
Cary!
Woo!
Well, actually, I don't know how to do it.
Well, if you did,
Why don't we tell you how to
just
do it?
pretend.
Okay, I'm gonna make up some stories here. I started doing credit repair, I don't know, it's been a long time, and I did it for myself because I never could figure out.
Can you put it right there so we can hear you?
Yes, I can. I started doing it because my credit was always bad, and I didn't understand why. So what I started doing is I started asking why. When I started asking why, it started telling me why. So what I do is I'll go out and I'll pull a credit report. In other words, I'll go to, there's three reports. I didn't know that either when I started. There's three reports. There's TransUnion, Equifax, and I forgot the Experian. So if you're good at Experian and you're good with Equifax and you're not good with the other one, you're not good at all.
Because they cross-reference each other.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's kind of like my left leg hurts, but when I walk, it hurts my right leg. That's because I'm dragging it. See. So what I try to do is I try to do all three. And what you do is you just, and I do mine through the letters. And the reason for it is it takes me a little longer, but when I'm done, it's really, my credit is really good. And what I mean by that is you can call on the phone and get it, and they'll send it to you, and then it's never what they say it is. So I write a letter to them, basically saying, my name is this, here's my social. I don't like to give out my social, but that's how it triggers it. So here's my social, here's my name, here's my address, and then I'll write a letter saying, I'm having a problem with my credit report. Please advise, or help me fix it, whatever. But I always say, please advise. And I put that's all I need. I don't write a 5-page letter because they're not going to read it. Then I mail it to the credit agency. There's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That's the only three I need. And how do you get? Okay, does anybody know how would you get TransUnion? How do you get the address to TransUnion?
Oh, you could do a search on the internet.
Right on the internet. TransUnion address. It pops right up. Write it down in there.
You tell me you have a problem with your credit report? Do you think there's a problem with your credit report? And you
It's
give them
not.
your social and you give them your name?
That's it. That's all you need. Okay, now why do you have to use your social?
Because there's a master security attached to it with a trust account set up on it.
I don't know about all that. I just know that if you want my shoe size, it isn't going to fit. Okay? When I use my social, it pops right up. I don't like using it, but it just pops up.
Do you have to include a bill of electric company or something like that?
You don't have to, but it's easier. When I'm doing my credit repair, the last thing I want to do is I don't want a 7-month dance. Okay, I want it done in 3 months and be done. That's just my opinion. Okay, do whatever you want. But I put my name, my address, my social, and then I mail it to them. And I basically write a letter and I just say, Dear TransUnion, or Equifax, or Experian. I put the address on it and say, I'm having a problem with my credit. Please advise or help me out here. Tell me it's a problem. And I mail it to them. They'll get back to me within a few days, and I want to know what my credit status is. They'll come back and they'll have it written right now. On the 13th of January, your car payment was returned. Oh, now I got something. See, now I got something. Car payment returned. Okay. See, or my electric bill is late. And And when I do it, I go down and I take everything that's not good, I take it off there. I take everything off of it. They say you can't take off doctor bills. Okay, I take mine off. It doesn't matter.
When you say you take them off, what specifically do you do?
Well, I write a letter to them and I'll say to them, for an example.
You have to make them prove that you actually
Ain't
owe
that,
the
ain't
debt.
that a kick in the
There
britches?
you go. He ding,
You
ding,
gotta
ding,
make
ding.
them prove
Yes.
that you actually owe the freaking
See,
thing.
that way they'll come back and they'll say, well, you do owe it because
Yeah.
now I've got something to break it off in. See? Because, but what we do is we go and then we go, well, I think I have a credit problem. I think I do. Yeah, you do. Okay, thank you. Now what? You already gave it, see?
See, they want you to dispute, but
That's
you don't want to
correct.
dispute. You
So
want to
you
tell
put
them
your-
this is not mine.
That's
So
not
what do you
mine.
put in your letter?
Huh?
What do you put in your letter disputing?
Okay, I'll say, first thing I do, I'll write a letter to them and then they'll return it to you. I don't care how you write it. It's just basically, my credit is bad, or my credit, I'm having a credit problem, and they'll send it back to you. And then I'll tell them, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's not mine, and I return to them. I might have 10 items on it, they're all not mine. Okay, now my question is, how do they prove it's mine? This is where the real meat comes. Tell me, how do you know it's
They
not mine?
can't prove it.
Ain't that a kick
They
in the
can't
britches
prove
again?
it. They can allege it, but
See?
they can't prove it.
And then what they've done to me is they said, well, that's yours. Thank you. I told them to bend over, kiss your goodbye, and they wrote me a check because they accused me of something. They have no proof. See what I'm saying? Now, the question is, it's kind of like this. My girlfriend's cheating on me. How do you know? Well, because I said so. Oh, that's the can of worms you can't win. Because she's going to say no, I'm going to say yes, and now what? What
So
do you-
you're basically saying in the letter proving.
Exactly, exactly. But first thing you do is where a lot of us make our mistake is you SOBs that you're doing doesn't matter to me. I don't care. All right, Mike, go ahead.
Also, I've heard you could do that with the creditor, because they've already sold the debt, and you can write them a letter saying, hey, prove that I owe this.
Well,
You know, because
you
the
can.
people that are trying to collect it,
But there's
they
already a-
bought the debt, and they can't, you didn't sign a contract with them, so you can
Well-
actually return my account to the original debtor, and then,
Well, what I do is I write a letter, and I'll just say, Stacy's furniture store says I own it. It's not mine. That's all I put on it. That's not mine. Now, here's my question. I told them it wasn't mine, and they said it was. Who's got
Burden of proof.
correct? And if they say to me, it is yours, they'll write me a check. They're gonna write me a check. And it'll be for whatever I tell them it's gonna be for. Do you know why? Okay, are you married?
I'm married.
See how simple that became? See how simple that became? Because as soon as you accuse me of something, guess what's not right? Well, wait a minute, you said I owed $1,000. I don't, I owe $1,200. That's a lie. Well, I only owe $950. Uh-oh, guess what? See the problem they have? I'm a first-class SOB when it comes to credit. Now, how long does it take you to get it cleared up? And I mean, let's say you have 10 things on there. How long would it take you to get 10 things off?
couple months.
How would you know? See, there's 10 things I don't know. So how many can you put, so I'm gonna write a letter, there's 10 items on there, how many can you put on there for the first letter? See, how can you tell me how long it's gonna take?
Okay.
See, when I do it, put all 10 on there. I want to put all 10 of them on there. They're gonna come back and tell me what's right and what's wrong. Now the fun begins. Do you understand why I say that?
Yeah.
See, I told them it wasn't mine. They're coming back and saying it is. I'm only gonna dance with them for a short period of time.
Right.
Then I'm gonna tell them, okay, I've proven it, you haven't proven it back. The next time I ask you, write a check. Do you understand why I do it this way?
Because you're forcing them to remove it.
See?
Prove
Or
it.
pay, prove it.
Prove it or remove it.
There you go. And I'll put it that way. And that's how you word it. That's how you don't have to write a 40-page letter from an attorney. I just put it on there. I see on my credit report, and you put it's on your report. You just put it down there, and you tell them, that's not mine. That's all I put there. That's not mine. Remove it. I don't sit there and say, well, 2 months ago it was. Now I'm trying to. That's not mine. Remove it. Why do I put it that way?
Because they need to prove it, and they can't.
They can't prove it because,
Do they have the original documents with your wedding signature on?
well, therein lies the whole problem. See, therein lies the whole problem.
Well, it's the invisible social credit system. I mean,
Right.
the people are the creditors,
Most
right?
people will go along.
We're just allowing these corporations to access our Treasury Direct account,
See?
which has 9 figures in it, so it's already paid for. My mother got a settlement offer the other day from one of these credit card companies from $30,000 to $9,000. How can they do that? Because they're taking it from that Treasury Direct account and we're gifting them the Federal Reserve notes as a thank you. They're getting paid twice on it.
So
The whole thing is bullshit.
what I found out is, I got a letter that's got 17 pages on it. Do you think that's good?
No.
That's right. My letter, the letters that I write is half a page. And the reason it is, I can say, that's not mine. It's done. Well, what's not yours? What's the credit report? Because what's the one thing they have to do? There's only one thing they have to do. What is it?
Prove it.
Ain't that okay? That's right. Prove it. So I said it's not mine, and you said it was. Bend over, grab your ankles, because I'm going to get a check. You can leave my credit bad, because I'll get another check next month.
Will they really send you a check?
They don't have a choice, because they damaged me.
How much do you usually ask for? $500? 1,000?
How do you determine the damages?
5,000, 8,000, 10,000. It doesn't matter. You've damaged me. Let me ask you a question. If I kick you in the right ankle,
Well, wait a
how
second.
much
Wait a
is it?
second,
Go
wait a
ahead.
second. You were damaged when you came in here. That had nothing to do with it.
That's, well, write me a check, and I'll show, and I'll prove
All
it.
right.
See?
Well, I got your point.
See, the point being, the credit, what I'm finding out is the credit repair, or the credit bureau is just that, it's a bureau. So what does that mean?
It's gossip.
It's what?
Gossip.
It's a well-respected swindle.
It's people that just accuse someone, but they don't have proof.
Actually,
No.
there's only one real credit bureau, and that's in San Antonio. The other 3 are just reporting agencies.
Okay, so what, now that you know that, do you understand where the problem comes now?
Reporting agencies.
So
Yes.
you're doing is, you're telling, that's not mine. They're going to say, yes, it is. Bend over, grab your ankles, because I'm taking your money. And the reason for it is, how do they prove it? See, now I started down a whole new path. So I don't even care about my credit report anymore. You've damaged me. How much damage is it? Well, they said, oh, I haven't paid my bill for 5 years, now I owe $10,000. We'll start right there. We'll start right there.
Where's the company in San Antonio that they get the information from?
They don't get that from that credit bureau. They get it from the companies reporting to them.
Oh, I thought there was something today. I thought there was.
No, the actual
Now
real
there
credit
is-
bureau that creates the actual, your actual credit for the credit cards and everything like that is only in San Antonio.
Now you see the problem, don't
The
you?
other 3 are only reporting
Okay.
agencies. They don't have
you
your
see the
actual.
problem?
Yeah,
You see
they're,
the problem?
they're like a third-party debt collector.
That's exactly what it is.
They're a company. They're
That's
not even a credit bureau, they're a company.
So what I do is I write my letter, telling them, first thing I send it out there and tell them that I have a question with my credit report. Please send me a current credit report. And you get that online, Sean, and there's 3 of them.
You get one per year free.
You get as many as I get as many as I want.
Okay,
And the reason is they don't like to deal with it. Because if they send me something and it says that, show me the law. That's all I want to do. Show me the law that says I can only get one a year. Show me that law.
Wow, should move on.
See? Now, where the problem comes, and you may only need one, but when I go in there, then once you get your first one, you've got something to build on. See? Because then whatever they take off, you just write it off and just stretch off and then go to the next one. And so what I do on it is I mail it to them, I certify it, and the reason I certify it, because I found this out by mistake. I send it to them, they may ignore me, or they may not do anything. But see, now it's a legal document. So what happens is, do I want 4 figures or do I want 5 figures? Because see, I told you what it was, you didn't respond, you damaged me. How much damage is there? It's all about, and what I'm finding out, it's all about, what is it? Tell me what it's all about.
You getting damaged.
Well, it's all about the money. Now, what's funny about that statement? It's all about the money. Tell me what's funny about that statement.
there is no money.
Ain't that a kick in the britches? So they're telling me I owe money and there ain't any. So how do you owe something that don't exist? Well, these are Federal Reserve notes. That's even better. Because now you can print some more. You just put my name on the bottom of it. Doesn't matter to me. Does that make sense? So when you don't write your letters and say you SOBs, there's no reason for that. Because now they'll just, they'll throw it aside.
Just keep it professional.
Yeah, that's all there is. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they like me or not. What I do, I write the letter, and the letter doesn't have to be long. You know, my name is, my social is, I have a credit dispute. And then I tell them, Experian, I noticed has, no, tell them, it's an error. Please remove it from my report. Sign, and then sign and send it to them. Or whatever, or because you call them and say, you SOBs, it's not mine. What are they going to do? See, now you've given them a target. When I write them, I'm polite, and it's devastating to them. So what will happen is you'll have 10 bad items, and that's a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot. How many would you write? So you have 10 on your report, and you're going to write a letter to them. How many? What's the best amount? Because there is a best amount to wipe it off quick. How if you have 10 items that are in that, you're going to do that. What would be the best amount to write?
5.
10. Why does it matter?
You can do it all. If it works, right?
That's right. So you write them 10, and they may take 7 off. Then they got 3. Then you want to say, I'm confused. I realized, and here's my letter. I have 10 items. Why is there only 7? You took 7 off. What? Prove the other 3. It's all about the proof. Does that make sense? See, it's all about the proof. And how do they prove it?
They don't have the contract.
It's all hearsay, they don't know.
Isn't that amazing? It's hearsay. It's basically what it is. It's hearsay. So,
And is it the fact that they can't call the companies to get the info either?
okay,
That's-
I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you what it is. Did you pay for my car payment last month?
No.
Why not? You owe me money. So if you don't do it, I'm going to call the Navy and send the Navy in here and they'll come in here with the guns and get my car payment. See how simple that was? Why? Because Federal Reserve notes is real money. Therefore, there's proof that it's bad. No. Federal Reserve notes is nothing but a what?
IOU.
Ain't that a kick in the britches?
Although they did change the dollar bills in 2017 to say this is legal tender for all sorts of payments now.
Okay? I have a sandwich, and this sandwich will give you the runs later on. So what? What does that mean? What's legal, define the legal tender? It has nothing to, in other words,
The legal tender is discharging.
it's a discharge instrument, that's right. So again, I'm not gonna write them a 40-page letter because you understand the problem. A 40-page letter is gonna say, and my mother said that my feet stink, and it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. I write a letter, and it's 1 page is better than 2 pages. And it's just, here's my credit report, here's my social, here's my problem. 1, this is not mine. Then I put the number, Sears, this is not mine. 2, Montgomery Ward's, this is not mine. Whatever, it's not mine. Sign it, send it to them. Let them come back. It's not up to me to prove that it is, it's up to them. They're saying it's mine. They have to prove that it is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, the next question is how effective, I can run off at the lips all day, but how effective is this method?
How is it? How effective is it?
I want to tell you.
You can't tell me.
In other words, we gotta
It's a
go,
secret.
we gotta go prove it.
It's 100% effective. And if it doesn't, the last thing they want to do is see a deadbeat like me. Okay, here's it is. On or about this date, I asked you to remove my credit, fix my credit. You didn't. Belly up to the bar. I want $100,000 in Federal Reserve notes to fix the problem you created.
They made an allegation that they
That's
can't
correct.
substantiate.
That's
and
correct.
they damaged you
That's
by
correct.
that.
There you go.
Holy crow.
That's right. Because it's, okay, first of all, Federal Reserve notes is not money. Would you agree? It acts like money, it acts like money,
I take the fifth.
okay? It acts like money, it spins like money, but it ain't money. See? So it's just the way, I'm just telling you how I do it, okay?
Right.
And
Now, how would you get the damages? Would you go to small claims court? For them
Doesn't
to pay
matter,
out?
I go anywhere, I don't care about, personally, I don't care about the damages.
You just
I
want the credit
want my
report
credit
clean.
right,
Okay.
then if I have to, I can go later on and get what I want and discharge it again.
They're the ones who have no defense.
Correct. They have
Right.
no offense.
You can allege that they damaged you if you have the documents. That's proof. Then
They're
send
just a
them bill.
reporting agency, they're not the credit bureau.
Right, and see the credit, and so, do you understand that, it's, what do they call it? It's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron, you know? Thing tastes like shit, why? Because it's shit, that's right, that's right. So, what I do is I write the letter, and you horses' asses, you don't need that. I put my name on there, my social on there, and then I say, to whom it may concern, because you never know who's going to be. So to whom it may concern, on or about this date, I've asked to have my credit removed, the negative, and you didn't. I don't just sit there and say 500 this, 200. I put it on there. You know, once you start to write them, and it'll start to make sense, and you'll kind of have your own way. Now, just one thing that if you get good enough at it, after you've done it a lot of times, you have friends or family that need help, okay? Who would help them?
Nobody, except us, I guess.
Well, okay, now, number 2, what is it worth? See what I'm saying? I want good credit. Are you willing to pay for it? Because it takes me time. So it's a way that it's a way for you to you don't have to gouge nobody, but a man is worthy of his hire. The Bible says that you're worthy of your hire. So if I can go in and fix your credit, doesn't it have some value?
Yeah.
Okay, all of a sudden now I got another source of income. And guess what they don't do? They don't report it. How are they going to report it? See? So now I have another source of unreported income. That's just my opinion. Okay, you do what you want. You
How much you charge?
Well, how much do you have on it? Because it's time consuming. If there's one item on there, I can, you know,
Oh, no, I got like 30.
how many?
30.
Oh, that, yeah, that's, see, you can probably clean up 90% of that in just one setting. Because it's all,
Here's
there you go, see? But there's gonna be some on that's they'll roll it back on you. And so you just keep moving down the line until you get down to the last 2 or 3, and then it gets ugly. You have 2 options, remove it or prove it. There's where the problem comes in, all right? How do you prove that I didn't pay for my meal last night? How do you prove that? Well, wait, I said you didn't. So I want you to pay today.
Yeah, so it's just.
See, that's ridiculous. You know, and so you'll start to see certain, you know, you don't call them up to you horses' asses because it doesn't work. It may work, but
I'm not doing that.
just be kind, you know. Hey, I see my credit report. Here it is. I pulled it for you. There's an issue here. 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 aren't mine. Remove it from my report. Sign it, send it to them.
So don't do all 30 at first.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Do all of them. It doesn't matter. Because here's the question. Who has to prove it? Do I have to prove it's wrong? They have to prove it's right. And guess how long do they have to prove it? 30 days. Ain't that a kick in the britches? Now, on the 31st day, you'll get something back. They'll take a whole bunch of them off. Let's say you have 6 items and they take 3 off of there. What did you just create?
Proof.
You just created a hellstorm for them. Here I was okay, now it's not. How can that not be right? This one be right. See, now I've got more leverage, even more. See, I've got more leverage. You know, I'll write the letter and say, you said this is wrong, but yet that was right. I'm confused. Help me out here. You know, is it because I'm a mechanic? Is it because I'm a painter? Is it because I'm fat? Is it because, see, no, well, no, it's not that. Then tell me what it is. You have 30 days to answer me. If you don't answer me, then you agree that it's fixed. Now all of a sudden, guess what we have? We have a hellstorm. See? Because now once, let's say you take 4 items off, how do you raise them? How do you raise your credit score?
Well, it should by getting them removed.
Isn't that something? That's right. But what if you have 4 items and they're all bad? Once you remove them, then what do you have?
No credit.
I'm sorry?
Does it show satisfied when you remove them?
No,
There's nothing there on it.
there's nothing there. But you have 4 items on there, they're all bad, and you remove them. Now what do you do?
I don't know.
See the problem? Now you're sitting here and you want to buy a tire. I can't. I don't have the money and I don't have the credit to, because your credit score is going to go to maybe 30. If that's not good. The higher the number, the better the report. I'm running about 750 with my credit. And the reason is I go in there every so often. They go in there, oh man, I went in there and I pulled 6 reports just to see how they work. Well, every time you pull a report, your credit score goes down. Well, I go in there and I make it go back up. Once you start doing it, you'll understand it. You know, it's kind of like, all right, what color is a red shirt? Can you tell me?
Red.
I don't see red. I'm blind. I'm red blind.
Right.
Sorry, you said red's wrong answer. I can only see blue. So red is blue to me. See where I'm coming from? No, I don't want to be a horse. That's your.
No, I get it.
But see, so the question is, I'm glad you asked. I don't know what color red is. Please explain. You tell me what it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you're getting them to tell you.
Absolutely, I'm giving you the chance. You have one chance. In 30 days, if you don't tell me, you have 30 days to respond or remove it. So what I do is I'll write my letter, I'll put it in there, Experian. There's a dispute on my credit report. okay? It says here that I have a negative account, or negative whatever. It'll be right there, you'll see it. You'll know it's a negative. It's not mine. Remove it from my report, and then just send it to them. Tell me you have 30 days, or remove it. Then I just send it to them. Problem is, within 30 days, you'll get something that says, no, it's yours because Sears said, whatever. Wait a minute. Do you see now the dispute we have? Now, so I create the dispute. Write the letter, and the letter doesn't have to be long. You know, you don't have to say, well, my grandmother's uncle was a patriot from the Civil War, and he wore blue shoes. None of that matters. Here, here's my credit report. It's incorrect. So my question is, if it's incorrect, how do I know it's not? How do I know it's not mine? Well, you didn't. I don't know about that. It's not mine. So I don't get into a elaborate, well, it's not mine because my wife has one big toe, and my children are, they're silly, and my grandkids, they're running. None of that matters. That's not mine. Remove it from my report. Then I send it to them. Let them come back, because when they come back, guess what I have? Proof. Proof of what?
That they had no right to.
See, now they're building my proof. And after I do that 3 or 4 times, this is the funnest part of all. All right, I've asked you 4 times to remove this item off my report. You have not done it. Be ready for the lawsuit. That's going to cost you 7 figures. Have a nice day. Send it, sign it, put it in the thing, and I mail it to them certified so they know they got it. Guess what happens?
They'll remove everything.
Everything. Why? They don't want to pay me to go in there and mess up my credit. They don't want that.
Because they don't have a contract to prove it.
Well, wait a minute. They don't have anything to prove it. See? So I'm telling you that my dog bit your dog. How do you know I don't have a dog? Well, you don't have a dog. Well, wait a minute now, my car don't start, and so it's a dog. See? I define, does that make sense? I define everything. Anything in this document that's not true, correct to the best of your ability and belief, correct it. Because this is what we're using. That's what I had on mine. Then I sign it and I send it to them. Why did I do that? There's one reason I do it that way. Why?
Paper trail?
Nope, it works.
Hey, Cary, so you're gonna send a statement to get them to sign? I was taking a little bit of a nap and I'm trying to catch up on what.
Well, I'm not going to tell you, because if you're going to take a nap,
I'm back up again.
No.
I rebooted.
What do you do is I write a letter to them, basically, that says, I want to see my credit report. I'm not going to get in there and argue with them. I just want to see my credit report. And they'll come in and you might have 15 things on there, all negative. Now you're going to go in there, you're going to, and so you have 15 items. So how many can you take off successfully? How many can you take off your credit report?
You just set it off. You
I'm sorry?
set it off because they're out of yours.
Okay, but you have a credit report, and you have 15 items that are negative. Out of that 15, how many can you take off of your report at one time?
15.
Absolutely, you bet. Now, it'll come back, and you may only take, might only take 3 off. Tell me what does that mean?
It means you were correct.
Right, and guess what? It's better. So now you don't have 15 anymore. You have 12. See? Then what? See?
Cary, does time make any difference? In other words, if some of these things are old,
Yes.
make any difference?
Yes, it does.
The older they are, the better it is for you.
The faster it is for you, correct.
Right, okay.
So if you have one that's 3 years old,
Yeah.
it's like it's not there. The problem is if we don't take it off,
It stays.
it stays.
Right.
So now,
That's whether it was paid off or not.
it doesn't matter, it's on there.
So like if it's 5 years old,
Yeah.
it's the.
Now, I got rid of all my addresses, all old addresses removed, and my
See?
score went up 10 points.
See, that's right, because now,
Because I'm only living at one address. I had like 9 different addresses from the past.
Right.
And I told them, that doesn't need to be there because I don't live there anymore.
Right.
I have one address.
Right.
I've lived here for more than 5 years.
Well, what I do with mine, okay, I have a P.O. box.
Yeah.
And the reason I have a P.O. box, it's just, it's easier for me to deal with,
Right.
see? And
Well, that's a form of protection too.
well, I do it that way, and then when something comes in, it's easy for me to jump on it. If there's 5 items, I don't have to go 2 here, 3 here, 2 down there. See, it just, and what you'll end up with, you might get a Sears on you have 3 addresses, so you have Sears on 3 of them.
Right.
That really helps you.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you at all. What it does, it drops the number down. See, then what I do after I get it all down, you still may not have good credit.
Right.
So I go in there on the, on the line. I notice that my report doesn't reflect this, and then here it is. It doesn't reflect this, and then I'll send them a letter at the end. In other words, I had a credit, bad credit because of Sears, for example. Not that I hate Sears, but so now Sears is not there. It's on my. In other words, I do everything I can to push my number as high as I can. Now that's a little more difficult.
You're saying though, when you get all those removed, your score drops.
Well, okay. Let's say you're okay. What is a good credit? First of all, what is a good credit?
700 and above.
Okay, I have a 750.
Right.
Now, if I have bad credit, you'll never get 750.
Right.
Okay, so now I get everything cleared off. They're going to come back and give you 750. You've only had that for a week. So how do you do that?
I don't know.
See, I write a letter saying, hey, I noticed that my credit report has nothing on it. What's wrong with this scenario? See? And then what else will hurt you is that I have 700 things, or say I have 10 items on there. I remove all 10 of them. They're on there. They're still on there as a negative, but they're not there.
Right.
So I go in there, I notice that this is removed, and then all of a sudden your credit report will start to go off. In other words, it's the ugly of the beast, I guess. It's the ugly of the way it is. And as you do it, you'll start to see, oh wow, if I do, this is, wow, see. And there's certain places that what really hurts you is I want to get a car, I want to buy a new car. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to go see 4 dealers. So you pull 4 credit reports. That's up there, that's over $100,000. That might be $115,000. They know they're going to get stung somewhere. So your credit report goes from a 650 to a 300. If there's nothing on there, what happened? Well, you're trying to buy the best car you can. So you go in there, you tell them, this is not mine, remove this from my report.
Is that the same for soft pulls?
Inquiries get removed too?
Yeah, well, I tell them to. They don't remove anything. Okay? I tell them to remove it. On my credit report, on this, it says here that this is whatever, soft pull, I don't know, hard pull, soft pull, whatever it is. I just tell them, this is not, this is crazy. This isn't from my, this is incorrect. Remove it from my report. Now, here's my question. You tell them to remove it, and it's on there, why do they have to remove it?
Because they can't prove it.
Ain't that something? Bend over, buddy, because I just got me a payday. See? Because they're telling me it's there. Credit, it's a credit system. It's a credit system. What is a system?
Components in motion.
It could be, could not be, might not be. But once I tell them, when I remove it from my report, I go back in and say, that's not mine. And it comes off. It just automatically, it goes up. Now, you might not get a 900. You have a 200, and you may never have a 900. You will eventually, but every time you make a pull, guess what? It's going to come down because they know. So what I do is after I'm done pulling it, I go in there and take the pulls off. Does that make sense?
Take the pulls off.
Take off the reports.
Say this is not mine,
Yep.
this is an error.
This is an error.
Damage me.
If this is an error, remove this from my report. And so far, I've been doing this for about 10 years, so far, they never come back and say, yes it is, that's yours, you pulled that. They've never said that. Tell me why.
They have to prove it.
I think that's something, they have to prove it. And I put my hands in their pants right now. For some reason, they don't really like that.
So the whole thing is rather than fight with you,
Yep.
they're gonna give in.
They're just gonna give in.
That's all.
Okay.
Now, how do you pull a credit report? How do you pull it? Tell me what you think you know, and I'll tell you how you do it.
Well, I created a actual account with them online, and they say that you can ask them to do that online service.
Okay. That's right, that's fine, it'll work. I don't use it that way. The reason I don't, it's one more I to go on. So if you, the highest report or the highest number you can get is the least amount of whatever. Does that make sense? So I go in there and I pull out my credit every 3 months. Guess what? It'll never be to the highest because you're pulling it down, that's all. If it works for you, perfect, because that's what you're doing. But my credit report is a 950,
Okay.
and I don't know if you know what that means or not.
950, that's like exceptional.
So if I want it, I can have it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but I can't afford it. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. It's not how much you can afford. What does your credit report say?
Yeah.
So all right, first thing you do is you write. Okay, how many credit bureaus are there?
3.
What's the name?
Equifax,
Experian,
TransUnion,
The Equifax.
the Equifax.
Okay, what's the address? So because how are you going to fix how are you going to fix it if you don't know the address?
I have the address.
Okay, does that make sense? And you can just go online and ask for it. And you know, I need to know the Equifax address, and then send it right to you. It's not a big deal. Or go online and you just put it in there and it'll come right up. Then when you start to pull it, you're going to notice your credit report goes up, but then it stops. Why does it stop? It won't go up any higher. Why? You're pulling. Every time you make a pull, it brings it down.
Right.
Okay, so how do you fix that?
Write a letter to them.
Ain't that something?
Remove it.
Remove this from my report. That ain't mine. I didn't do that. What if they say you did? What if they say you
Prove
did?
it.
Ain't that something? Prove it. Bend over and grab your ankles, because if you don't prove it, I'll just give you a 6 or 7, maybe an 8-figure account.
But you're asking for the report, so don't they have proof?
Okay. Okay.
He's got a question over there too.
Okay, go ahead. I'll get back. I'm sorry.
Well, you can answer him, but I would like to have, you use the term, you better grab your ankles. Where do you put that in the letter that you sent?
Well, I don't call it that way, but I put it there. It's not, okay, this is not mine. Should prove that this is my, what would you call it?
Report.
Credit report.
Correct.
Good.
You're a hell of a guy. But you better grab your ankles.
Yeah.
He thinks outside the box.
What I'm saying is, yeah, okay. If I slap you in the face with it, hurt.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Good.
Could. So when I asked you, would it hurt?
Don't know.
Okay, if you don't know,
You already got
come on
that.
over here. Come on over here. Let me see.
Depends on how hard you slap him.
See the problem? See the problem? I'm never decisive. That's not mine.
Okay.
So the next letter was come out and I said, okay, I told you it wasn't mine. I will allow it this time. The next time you say it's mine, I will come and I'll be all over you. It'll be like poopy on poopy. See where I'm coming from? In other words, it
Well, because
doesn't.
you did, when you disputed, you didn't ask for the credit report to be pulled. They just give it to you, right?
Yeah, you can ask them for it
Okay.
if you want to, and it'll come in and you'll see it, and it'll say 7 inquiries. I read a letter, say, those 7 aren't mine, remove them from my report. They're gonna write back and say, we're not gonna do that, not a problem. I just got me a payday, I got me a payday. 7 of them, wow, I'm gonna give me some money. How do they prove you did it?
No,
Huh?
Yeah,
no,
but-
my question was based on your score drops by pulling the credit report.
It does.
correct? So don't they have proof in your letter asking for the credit report that you did it?
Okay,
No, you just said you have a problem, I have a problem with my credit.
yeah.
You didn't say the report.
Ain't
I have
that-
a problem
Okay,
with
so
my
you're not
credit.
asking for a
No.
credit report pulled,
But
they'll
you-
send you one.
But you said, can you please advise me? You didn't say, send me a credit report.
Okay, I got it.
See, once they do it, I'll go ahead. You're never gonna get 100%.
Right.
You're just not, it's not, and I've been doing this a long time.
It's set up that way, right?
It's set up that way. Once you pull it, it's gonna go down. See, but I go back, after I pulled it a few times and my credit goes up, let's say you have, okay, first of all, what is a good credit score number? Good, what is a good?
Good, 700 and above. 750,
No,
800?
no, that's perfect. See, I
Good
didn't say-
is what, 650?
Good is probably 5-ish, okay? So how do you go above 500?
Well, I've had the low, I had like the low, this was just not too long ago, the low 600, they said it was poor.
Right, see, so it's 4. See, so,
It's all the definitions, right?
yes, it's out there.
Somebody
You go.
that has a
So what you
6, that's
do-
good.
Okay, pull your credit report. It's gonna ding you again, it's gonna go down,
Right.
okay? Read it, read what it says. On or about this day, I pulled my credit report. 7245, you'll see there's a number on there.
Right, right.
Okay, that's not mine. That's not mine, that's not mine. Remove them
Prove it or remove it.
exactly and send it to them. What happens if they don't prove it?
And they're-
I gotta get payday, I got money coming.
Right.
I'm good,
They
they're
can't
gonna write
prove it.
They're
They
gonna
use
write
the
me
all
a check.
cap name.
Yeah.
It's all cap.
See, but they're gonna write me a check. And they
Oh, I forgot about it. Okay, so this is all based on the all caps,
See?
to prove that I did it.
There you go. And so what you do is,
Because the
don't write,
the
don't
bill's in
write,
all caps anyway.
don't write the check, don't write the letter. This is my all caps name.
No, not
Right,
like that,
right.
yeah, I don't do
What
that.
I'm saying to you is kind of like,
Because I'm sitting here grappling with the fact, okay, am I lying? But no, I'm not, because
That's right.
I'm not that
the
person.
system is broken,
Yeah,
okay? So the system is broken. See?
they fraudulently got me
Ain't
to
that
get the
something?
credit, get their loan and all that anyway.
Okay, and so what are they able to do?
Really, they're really not able, they're really not supposed to be able to do anything.
But they do it all the time. What's really fun, I like this. If I pull my credit report and there's something on there that I didn't authorize, they have 2 options. Remove it or write me a check. And I'll let you know how many zeros to put on the check. That's it. Guess what happens?
They remove it.
Every time, 100%, without fail.
Appreciate it.
Is that I see?
Oh, I already wiped the spark on the other bill. Is that okay? I'm running again? Yeah.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, for us too.
Does that make sense?
Was that?
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Okay.
pay for it, but can we put it in
I've been doing
the
credit repair for 20 years.
Nelson's too?
And the reason I started doing it was,
I'm paying.
I was
for
a
it.
kid, I was
Can you
young,
use your card?
and I wanted to buy a car,
Okay.
and I couldn't. The reason I couldn't because my credit was bad. I thought, well, this doesn't make any sense. I make plenty of money, not that I was rich, I'm not saying, and that's not what this is about. I make plenty of money, but yet I couldn't buy the car. I could buy the car I didn't want,
Right.
but I wanted to buy a a Corvette. And I said, this is what I want. It's expensive, and this is expensive, and this is what I want.
Right.
I couldn't get it. I said, okay, let's find out. So I went in and I started manipulating what was going on. 3 months later, they said, you want two or you want one? Because it made a huge difference. When you pull your credit, has anybody ever seen a credit report?
Yeah.
Okay, in there, it'll tell you what it says, what it's doing, and you'll see on there.
That's how they know I got 30. It shows the company, their address, how much you owe,
Correct. And
and
so,
what your payments were.
right, and so what you do, how would you fix that?
Just like you said, prove it.
Okay, delete this from my report or prove it.
Or prove it.
See, and if not, I'll see it in front of the judge. Don't matter to me. I could care less.
Or
And
damaging me.
correct, and I'm a-hole enough to do it. I've taken them to court. And when you get there, and Cary, can we, wait, right, do you want me to sign the check or me to sign it? Doesn't matter to me. See, it's just, you gotta understand something. Our credit report is just that.
It's just a report
It's a report.
that they made.
Ain't that something? That's fair.
It's their report about you,
Right.
and you're not the all-cap name, but you don't tell them that.
Because there's been people talking about that you could take your financials to a CPA and get a certified copy of you could create your own credit report.
You can, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
All I do is I write a letter. My letter's pretty short.
You want to put this fraudulent system up there, or you want to use it to your advantage.
Yeah. I just write it. I write it about every 6 or 7 months just to get the report. The report's easy to get.
Yeah.
You write it, and you just tell them that I want to see my credit report. And here's here are all my credentials, and they'll send it to you. And when you do that, how many reports will you get? You're going to ask for one, or you're going to get
One.
Yeah,
wrong answer.
really?
You're going to get 3.
Oh, for the different credit bureaus.
That's what I do. I want my Experian, my
So you write a letter to all three?
absolutely.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's right.
Or you could write one to the
Equifax is the one that you should go through, because they do the most reporting to the other.
right, but I do them all because what I don't want is I don't want to have a 600, a 400, a 300,
Right.
and then a 900. I don't want that. See, now what they're going to do is they're going to cherry pick you. They're going to say, oh, you need a new car. Well, you're going to have to pay 7% more money because you have this on it. Well, that's not even mine. See, so what I do is I pull all 3 of them. Then I lay them there. And guess, this is what I don't understand. I pull a credit report, all 3 of them, and all 3 of them should be the same. I mean, in theory, this is theory.
If it's perfection, they should be all the same.
Well,
If they're really telling you the truth, all 3 should be the same.
right. I mean, to me, that makes sense.
But it's not.
Well, okay, then, so what's wrong with this? Something's wrong with this scenario.
Somebody's not telling the truth.
See? So it ain't.
Or they all could be lying.
It's not my fault. So I write a letter. This is not my report. Fix it. Here's why you need. And I tell them, all right, I think, fix it. I mail it to them. You have 30 days to replace or fix it or correct it. And guess what happens?
They fix it.
I'm sorry.
They fix it.
Not always, but most of the time. Why would they do that?
Because they could be sued.
Because they got a deep wall that I don't. So guess what I enjoy doing? It's fun. I enjoy it. It's like eating candy. It's like feeding my child of candy. Why? You said it was there. Okay. I'm going to make an accusation. When was the last time do you beat your children?
I don't have any.
Okay, so
They find children.
do you beat your children?
No.
Well, how do you know?
Because I say so.
Well, because you said so, now I got you, see? So what you do is I'm like, yes, my children, I'm confused, what are they? It's not up to me to tell them, it's up to them to tell me what they just, see? And if they write me a letter on my credit report, and it's off color or off whatever, guess what, you can bet one thing, that's not mine, that didn't come, I don't know what that is. I'll do that 10 times, and in 10 times, how many times will they take it off my credit report?
10 times.
Most of the time, it's possible that it won't. But once you take 3 or 4 of them off, what happens to the number?
Should go up.
Ain't that something? So I have a 400. I need a 650 to buy a car. I go on there and I'll go in there and just manipulate my credit report. I'll push it up. Then I'll go give it a month or 2 when I pull it. It'll be up way above what I need. That's how I do it. I'm not telling you how to do it.
No.
I'm not an attorney, so I'm just
No, I've
telling you.
I've seen some other things that are similar to this, I believe.
I'm just telling you how I do it. And the reason I do it this way, because if your credit is bad, I can help you.
Okay.
Or you can pay somebody to do it and they'll help you.
Here, do you type it out or you write it on a,
Yes.
type it?
Yeah, I didn't say that. What did you ask me?
3 o'clock.
Do you type it or write it?
Yes.
Oh, either way.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's
I'd rather write it.
Handwriting, you get more, people read your stuff more than you handwrite it.
See? And the reason I type it because I just download it, hit print, and then go in there and choose it off.
Because you already have it set up, you just put the new name, it's all done. But if you ever handwrite something, bring it to the judge and see if he looks at the handwritten document more than typed.
See?
They'll look for the handwritten one.
But again, I'm not telling, I don't give legal advice.
He don't give me legal advice. None.
But the credit reports, you have to pull a report, and then you can see it. Once you see it, you think, well, yeah, that's from 1964. I don't know how it got there, but it's there. See, well, after so long, you can have a report start moving. And you go in there and I'll write a letter. I'll say, thank you for your time.
Actually, this is called family.
My report is incorrect.
Recite it.
Here's what I have on my report. Those 3 items are incorrect. Please remove the incorrect information. I thank you. There's always that say, well, my wife, it doesn't matter to me, I don't care. It's not mine, right? Does that make sense?
Thank you, Cary.
Thank you, Cary. Thank you.
Can you prove it?
Can.
Whose is this?
This is to give to the guy probably?
I don't know.
I know they did that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know they've done it that much.
Alrighty, I'm taking off and